Relationship advice. My husband left me because I cheated on him 11 years ago. What do I do? Before you bombard me with messages saying that I deserved it because I cheated, listen to what I have to say. I am 32 now. He is 35. We started dating when I was 21. A few months into our relationship, I cheated on him. I have no reason for why I did what I did. I know it was a stupid decision. But he found out about it after it had happened, and decided he wanted to stay with me. I never cheated again. We were happy. We dated for 5 years after it happened and we got married. We have 2 kids together. The past few months or so, things have been rocky. He won't touch me anymore and he never kisses me back. He doesn't really talk to me anymore. I tried to talk to him about it, but he just says that there is nothing wrong and I'm overthinking it. But just yesterday, he told me he is going to stay at an Airbnb for a while, because he cannot forgive me for cheating on him all those years ago. He told me he would make himself look like the a-hole, so that our kids don't hate me for ruining our marriage. I am so blindsided by this. I don't know what happened. If this is how he felt, why didn't he tell me this 10 years ago? What am I supposed to do now? Edit. He has had episodes where all the feelings come back and he would be distant for a while. I have never blamed him for it. We usually talk it out when that happens. It has never lasted more than a few days, and he never has left. We have tried couples counseling before. I thought it worked out well for us, but I guess I was wrong. Maybe something set him off this time and it was worse than before. I don't know. He won't talk to me no matter how much I try. And for those telling me that I never loved him or that I deserve this, I do love him. Maybe there was a part of me that didn't all those years back, but I love him with everything that I have now. We have 2 kids together, for crying out loud. But maybe you're right. Maybe I do deserve this for what I did 11 years ago, but my children don't. Edit 2. Thank you to those who gave me advice. I really appreciate it. I know I am not guilt-free in all of this. Now for the top advice. Cheating can wreck, and has wrecked, many relationships months, years, even decades after it happened. People can try their hardest to work past it, and even think they've succeeded for years, but then they're swamped with the same pain and anger they felt when it first happened, and, if that happens often enough, they realize they not only never really got over it, but that they never will. At that point, they either accept that they will hurt like that forever, or they leave. As for what you do now, ask him if he's open to marriage counseling. If not, be ready to get a divorce attorney. Edit to add, also get your kids and yourself into counseling. You aren't wrong, but I don't know if this adds up. If everything has been great for 11 years, I don't know how you could suddenly flip a switch like that. At the very least something had to have triggered this. I don't think he just pretended to be happy for 11 years. Who says everything was great in his mind? Maybe he was trying all this time, and gave out. Maybe it was a trigger or series of triggers. I mean, Op says he told her he can't forgive her. I hear reconciliation is not a given, it's constant work. If he felt like she was taking him for granted. Secondly, OP didn't post affair specifics. Was it a one-night stand, multiple partners? Did she tell the AP his secrets and fears? Did she do things with him she wouldn't do with him? Maybe he discovered some new information? To clarify, I didn't post specifics because I didn't think it was relevant. It doesn't matter if it was just one guy, multiple men, just one kiss, or a string of events. It happened, and it hurt him. There is no trying to water it down because cheating is cheating. I have been completely honest with him after it happened. But he has told me previously that he has forgiven me for the most part, but it is hard to completely forgive, which I completely understand. But we have, from my perception, constantly worked on it. We have had multiple discussions, we have sat down and talked about why he feels the way that he does. I have done what I can to show him that it would never happen again, and that I choose him. But again, this is all my point of view. He probably feels differently. There was a recent post where a man was cheated on and they worked on reconciling the relationship. It was going well, until AP called him and harassed him and tore down everything they built towards reconciliation. Think of it this way. Soldiers that have PTSD may have lived fine, until they get triggered. Maybe something triggered him. Take him at face value. Cannot forgive you for cheating. It happens, and doesn't always adhere to standard time frames. He's in midlife, a time where many marriages become drudgery. He's reassessing his life. Perhaps something triggered this old wound. Perhaps he's tired of picturing you and this other dude every time you two have intimacy. Best bet, give him his space, keep communication open as far as possible. As you're becoming aware, cheating can cut soul deep. Now for the next story. Male 48, feel ridiculous and shallow, but can't get past infidelity issue from years ago. Seeking advice. A little background, wife and I have been married for 20 years. Started dating in high school and dated all through college in a semi-long distance relationship. Our schools were about 100 miles apart. We were each other's first. Broke up a few times, usually for just a couple of weeks, but the last one was for about 9 months. Love her with all my heart, and in virtually all aspects, is the one for me. The story: about 3 years ago, she made an offhand comment that caught me off guard and made me dig deeper. In short, she confessed to me that while we're dating in college, she cheated on me a few times. Her rationale at the time was twofold: she thought I was doing the same, I wasn't, and she was extremely clingy and needy and would get very emotionally distressed when I couldn't come up and see her. I also knew that on our last breakup, she dated a guy, pretty seriously, and of course, had sex with him. I have no issues with that. Through the entirety of our relationship I never engaged in activities with anyone else. Even lost a few friends because I wouldn't sleep with them. Broke off the friendships. So, my issue is this. I can't get over the fact she cheated and then lied about it for decades. I thought I could move past it because it was so far in the past, but I'm struggling. It's not really the itself, but the lying, and, this is the big one, I feel like I was robbed of some experiences that I would like to have had in the name of being faithful to her. I know that it's shallow and it was a decision I made. But it doesn't change the fact that I would like to have experienced that thrill with another. I don't know if it is COVID-induced isolation, but the feelings of resentment have been growing stronger and I feel myself closing off from her. I don't want to be this way. It seems stupid because it was so long ago and I had opportunities to pursue physical relationships but chose not to, because I still loved her. Again, my choice. I just can't get past this. My thoughts keep getting darker and darker and I hate it. I feel betrayed and, like I mentioned above, like I missed out on something, because I thought things were one way and they were the opposite. It is making me see her in a different light, and I hate that too. Up until 3 years ago, everything was perfect. I've brought the topic up a few times over the past few years and she kind of shuts down and won't get into it, claiming she feels awful about it. The fact she won't talk frustrates me even more. I just feel like I am in a downward spiral and I don't know how to break out of it. Everything sets me off, even seemingly innocent things trigger strong emotions. Coming here seeking advice on how to get beyond this. I'm at my wit's end. Now for the top comments. It was so long ago to her, because she knew about it. You only recently found out, so it's new to you, and the fact that she acts like it doesn't need to be worked through and processed just like any other cheating in a relationship, would make it impossible for you to heal. That it was so long ago actually makes it 1,000 times worse, because it means that she knowingly, deliberately robbed you of the right to make your own informed choices about your life, and literally tricked you into marrying her under false pretenses. If the marriage is going to be saved, she has to put in the effort to actually address what she did, and the pain it's causing you, and it's honestly going to take a professional to help with that. She does not get to cheat on you multiple times, lie to you about it for nearly 2 decades, and then stick her head in the sand and refuse to actually deal with it. If she isn't willing to put in the effort to try to work through this with you, then she isn't worth staying with. You are only 48, there are a crap ton of awesome, non-cheating, non-lying women out there who would love to have a chance at you. She's invalidating your feelings on top of cheating on you. You have a decision to make here. You're still young and can start a fresh life. Leaving is not in the cards. I love her dearly and in all other aspects, life is good. The part about getting robbed of my ability to make reasoned choices is what is sticking with me. I do feel like I missed out and was manipulated, in some ways, to do so. But, as someone pointed out above, I made the choice not to cheat for me, not her, and there is some truth to that. She didn't lie just once, she lied for years. My now wife and I did super long distance relationship early on. I had several opportunities to sleep around and I didn't do it, because I knew I couldn't build a long-term relationship on a lie. It would have eaten me alive inside. I'd be very wary about someone that has the ability to deceive and live with it for decades. Yeah, and it did bother her, but she couched it as something she had planned on taking to the grave, so the release was probably cathartic for her, which I'm not going to fault her for. Now for the last story. Wife cheated years ago and I just found out. I suspected my wife had something going for a couple of weeks 12 to 13 years ago. During this time period she protected her phone, treated me horribly, and was going out a few nights a week with friends and disappearing until 3 to 5 a.m. She also made it clear she didn't care what I thought. I intended to leave her even though she adamantly denied cheating. This behavior lasted a couple of weeks before she suddenly apologized out of the blue. She maintained she wasn't cheating and claimed she was just having some fun with her friends. Our relationship has been very normal since then, and actually over the years I had all but forgotten about it. About a year ago, I was having a casual conversation with my wife's sister's husband, when he mentioned a guy whose name I had heard because 2 of my wife's younger sisters had dated him for a short time, although I never met the guy. My wife's brother-in-law then made a comment implying that my wife had cheated on me with this guy during the 2-week period years ago. I confronted my wife and she denied it. I had no intentions of letting it go this time, and eventually my wife confessed that she had in fact been cheating with this guy. She admitted he was married at the time and my wife didn't seem to care. She claimed that she decided to end it because she came to her senses when she realized I was going to leave her. She also claimed she has never even seen the guy since, even though one of her other sisters was messing with the guy. I asked how this began and she claimed he just started texting her, and would text her every morning and say, "Good morning sunshine." It really bothered me that this pet name still resonated with her after all of these years. It's been nearly a year since she confessed, but I just can't seem to get past it. My wife has put forth the effort to be a better wife, but every time we have any sort of disagreement my mind goes right back to this guy and I will blurt out, "I bet you'd do it for him." I love my wife, but what she did is awful and disgusting. She chose us with a known player over her husband and children. She also robbed me of my right to make a decision at the time by denying that she was cheating. We have built a life together and she has been a good wife and mother since then, but what she did was messed up and selfish. Our marriage wasn't bad at the time. We hadn't been arguing or had any problems. Basically, a player started texting her out of the blue and apparently, it was established that a relationship between them wasn't going to happen. So, there is no dancing around the fact that my wife chose to be some guy's F-buddy, over being a wife and mother. Now for the top comments. There is a case same as yours except it was 25 years ago instead of 12. Can't really remember the details, but the gist of it is that, the husband left because it makes it a lot easier for cheaters to lie about a cold case. The guy I think, went on to have a better life, but unfortunately that did not come without a divorce. The ball is in your court, but you know what she took from you and only you would know the value of those things you took. The freedom to choose, feeding lies and taking your trust for granted. Personally, it does not matter how long ago it is, an act played out is an act nonetheless. Consult a lawyer regardless of what you choose to do. Then go from there. Do you remember the story of a husband who finds out that his wife cheated on him only with black men? She cheated and not just for once but for 2 weeks, and lied to your face for last 12 years. Your trust is broken and it's been a year you can't get past it. No one should. Go see a lawyer and walk away with whatever dignity and self-respect you have left. Your marriage was already broken as soon as she cheated and broke her vows to you, because she got some good morning messages. What guarantees that she didn't do it again? Also, how can you be sure it was only this guy in this past 12 years? Because you just found out, it is all fresh for you. You have to decide whether to let an affair that happened 12 years ago, for 2 weeks, ruin your life. Tough choice, because you said that after that time, your marriage has been good. I think what is going to be harder is that, members of your wife's family knew and never told you. Yup, hope he is probably an old traditional joke around the dining table at his in-laws' place now. This is too much humiliation to say the least. And that's the end of this video folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.